Oh yeah, my name's Karim Byron. I'm a black belt in BJJ out of Ottawa. Been training for about 14 years in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And you've been somewhere very interesting recently.
Japan? Yeah, I'm living over in Japan right now. I've lived there for about 6 years now, training and teaching. So just back in town now, visiting friends and family and dojo teammates, wherever they may be.
And how much of a difference do you kind of like culture-wise is it over there?
I mean, like a lot of the non-traditional martial arts, so like the ones they call the jiu-jitsu, the boxing, the MMA, stuff like that. There's kind of like a loose atmosphere in the club. It's more laid back. Whereas in Japan, it doesn't matter what club you're in. It's always that kind of walk in, bow. We sit down. We do seiza. We do makuso, which is kind of like a meditation before and after class. So they don't lose that in anything they do. So it's more of the Japanese culture coming through. So.
Oh, amazing. Do you find the level of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is it ahead, the same as, or?
At the lower weight classes, I definitely think it's a little bit ahead because there's just more. You know what I mean? They have a population of 100 million. So there's going to be more competitors, more guys, and they love. I mean, the whole country is that size, so it's really competitive at that way. So iron sharpens iron. At my weight class, you get a lot of judo guys, so their tachiwaza and their submissions are quick. You know what I mean? So I have to be careful about that. But a lot of them lack the patience and lack the pure technique, on the ground. But it's still tough because judo is badass.
So you find they're using a lot more muscle than technique at times?
No, I find I'm having to work off my back more than usual. But I find that they're used to being big and strong, and so when they come up against me, they're not big and strong anymore. Some of them feel like a fish out of water, and it makes it easier to control. Some of them are. You'll find if they're only used to rolling guys smaller than them, they make mistakes that they don't know they're making because they can kind of overcompensate with their size and strength. So that's why it's always good to roll with a range of people.
Yeah. Do you find the style of BJJ is a little bit different in Japan? They try and blend.
They focus on the guard like it's. You know what I mean? There's just guard, and taking the back. You know what I mean? And usually in Japan, it's whatever is the most popular jiu-jitsu guy in Japan at that time. That's what everyone follows. They're really big on trends and fads. So there was a guy who got 4th place, I think, at Abu Dhabi, and now everyone's doing his stuff, and he likes to take the back. You know what I mean? The Mendez brothers were there a few months ago, so now everyone's doing the inverted guard and everything the Mendez brothers do. So I mean, it's really fad-oriented, and especially in the smaller weight classes. The big guys, I find, tend to progress a bit slower and. Because they're not into all those things, so but the level is great over there.
There you go. And is it hard to find an academy over there, or can you kind of walk in?
No, there's lots of academies. I mean, if you're in Tokyo, you have Gracie Baja. There's Axis, which is the Nixon Gracie. You have Yuki Nakai, which is Palestra. You've got Purebred, which is Inoue.
Oh yeah.
You've got. The Vieira brothers representatives. You've got there's a Marcelo Garcia guy there now too. So there's lots of dojos, especially in Tokyo. In Osaka, they're spread out, but they're there because you have, besides the BJJ gyms, you've always had the shooting gyms, the Pancrase gyms, like the Hickson Gracie Cup. Some of the fights are on TV, so they do cover those things. They have an actual channel where they'll cover martial arts all the time. And then sometimes it'll be on whatever the local cable or whatever like that. So the coverage is a bit more, I think, than in here because martial sports are part of their culture. So they'll have karate and judo on TV.
What about the MMA scene? I know it's been kind of declining.
Yeah, when I arrived in Japan 6 years ago, it was huge. Because you had K1 Heroes, K1 Max, Pride, and it was just blowing up, right? And because of that, the smaller MMA shows too. Were starting to get bigger and bigger because they were feeding up, you know what I mean? But ever since the earthquake and ever since Pride went down, it's kind of been on a downward slide. It kind of picked up a little bit in the lower weight classes, but they don't have the money to bring the big name heavyweights over anymore, so it's kind of lacked in excitement for a little while.
And what about the UFC? Does anyone care about the UFC over there? Or?
Well, now they're caring about the UFC because Dream and Son Goku kind of gone down the tubes. So the real hardcore MMA fans are kind of looking for something, and now everyone, you have what's his name? Sexyama there. He's over there. You got Kawajiri and Aoki fighting in Strikeforce. And you've got Yushin Okami, he's fighting for the title. So there are some Japanese stars, over there. people are getting interested in the UFC now. I hear guys talking more and more about it as a place to kind of go.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for your time, Karim.